All right, joined now on the line by Cobh Ramblers midfielder David O'Leary. Dave, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Rory, and yourself?
Oh, good now, man. Thanks a million for coming on with us. First off, tell us, we'll start, I suppose, with the match last night. First game for Ramblers of 2021 and a fantastic win.
Yeah, we went up, we played Longford, just got promoted there last year, and I thought we did a very good account of ourselves. They're after strengthening their team as well, and they'll be quite strong this year, But we went up with two teams. We played 11 in the first half and a different 11 in the second, and we won the first half, we drew the second half, and it was a good performance by ourselves.
What's the buzz been like around the Ramblers training camp, I suppose, in advance of the season?
Yeah, no, there's a good buzz. There's a good group of lads there. There's we all seem to have the same goal, which is a good thing. There's no May Feiners. We're all out for the same thing. And you can kind of see it in training, and we hopefully it'll continue, for the season.
Tell us how the move to Ramblers came about.
Yeah, Stewie. I was talking to Stewie during lockdown, with the no soccer happening in Cork at the moment, and you don't know what's around the corner. I was delighted to have the opportunity to go up and play. I haven't played in the league for the last 3 years. So as I said, look, it's an opportunity that I couldn't really turn down.
How frustrating has lockdown been for you as a footballer, considering the last 2 months of senior league seasons with Avondale pretty much been wiped out?
Yeah, like the year before, we weren't really doing that well. This year, we had a great start to the year, so you kind of you take things for granted when you're playing all the time. It was, as I said, I wouldn't be a big fan of pre-season. Never really liked it, but
does anybody like pre-season?
But it's you take it for granted, and as you say, last night I was buzzing. Just as I say, going up to Dublin, as I said, coming in at 2:00 in the morning isn't nice because it takes up your whole day. But as I say, I wouldn't change it now. You miss it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it must be very hard. For not just the Avondale players, but all amongst the senior league players to have almost a year of football just completely wiped out. A year of their careers completely wiped out.
Yeah, well, your career in soccer is short enough as it is. So as you say, we started the season last year, started one this year. You don't know if it's going to go ahead. The uncertainty around it, I think it's unfair, on everyone, because even though it's amateur, you still act in a professional manner in the Munster Senior League, the way we've done it in Avondale. With two good coaches there, doing Zoom classes 3 days a week, having a running schedule. As I say, it's as professional as other clubs I've been at, So I just think it's quite unfair, all the effort that's going in behind the scenes and not really have the opportunity to play.
Yeah, Zoom classes, though, just no substitute for being out on the pitch with the lads.
No. And as I said, that was... you notice that when I went first training session with Cobh, you can do as many Zoom classes as you want. It's not the same as being out on the pitch, kicking a ball, doing them as a group, doing the running, because those running sessions on the road, it's not the same. You're doing this, that, and the other, sending a time, and it's just not the same as being on the pitch.
It's also the social aspect of it as well, Dave. I mean, just being in the dressing room with the lads is a massive part of it as well, and that was all just taken away.
Exactly, yeah. As I said, there's a close-knit group with Avondale, and there's a group chat going every day, people talking, but it's just not the same. You see Gary Dempsey, what he's been putting up on social media lately about how it's affecting the whole country, what's going on, and it's the exact same for the fellas in the Munster Senior League.
So when Stewie came to you and said, would you be interested in Ramblers, was it something you had to think about, or did you say, right, yeah, definitely, I want to be back I want to be back playing football?
No, it was a no-brainer, really. I've been out to the Cross, I've been out to Coleman's Park, over the last few years. As I said, I'd love live football. Whenever I was playing around the country, when I came home, my Friday nights, to my missus' disgust, was going out watching the game. But it was just the love for it, League of Ireland football. And as I said, when I got the opportunity to go back to it, it was just a no-brainer.
Cobh Ramblers have been knocking on the door. They've been thereabouts the last couple of years. Obviously, Stewie's probably confident of a promotion push this year.
Yeah, well, as I said, the aim, talking to the lads last year, was kind of looking for promotion, getting to the playoffs. We're kind of setting our sights a bit higher this year. We want to win automatic promotion. A lot of clubs won't think we're able for it, which is grand. That's their opinion. But as you say, look, I think if we carry on doing what we're doing, we'll kind of go under the radar, and we'll be. You'll see come the end of the season, hopefully, that their opinions will change.
It's shaping up to be the most competitive and closely fought First Division campaign that I can remember, with so many good teams there.
Yeah, well, if you look at the caliber of the clubs in the First Division this year, it's you could say 10 years ago could look like a Premier Division league. You see the players that's come in from Premier Division clubs to these clubs. You could see some of them doing well in the Premier Division. So it's going to be a league, I think, this year where everybody will be taking points off everyone. You could see last year the way the league finished. There was a handful of points from first to fifth. Cobh were very unfortunate last year not to make the playoffs. I think it was on goal difference, or so it's going to be something similar, I believe, this year. And as I say, look, it's just trying to get over that line.
And as you say, outsiders won't give you much of a chance, but flying under the radar will probably suit you a lot.
Yeah, like as you said, like we went up, played Longford last night, a Premier Division team. We're playing Rovers there on Sunday, which will be another good test. So it's, I don't mind people writing us off early doors at all. It's just if we're not in that same mentality, which is good. We believe we have a strong group of people, involved, on the staff and on the team, and we have the same objective. So, as I said, look, they can think whatever they want. We know our goal, and we'll stick to it.
Stuart Ashton teams are always very well organised, but they play very, very good football, which as a midfielder, you want to get on the ball a lot, must be particularly appetising for you, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. I've had a chat with him, what he kind of wants me to do, and how I can help the team, kind of progress, get that extra step, what they just didn't do last year, get into the playoffs. So as I said, as you said, he's very structured, and he wants you to play ball. He wants you to do the right things, and he's given me the platform to try and help the club.
And for you, I suppose you're comfortable, I suppose, playing 6 or 8 or even 10. I mean, like, what does Stuart have kind of envisioned for you for this season?
Yeah, it's a bit of everything. It kind of depends on really who we're playing. But as I said, look, I've kind of done the box to box before. I've done the sitting row. So as I said, whatever he says on the day, I don't really mind doing. If he tells me to play full back, I'll play full back. It doesn't matter. As I say, we all have the same goal, and I think a few fellas on the team are willing to adjust what their goal is individually to kind of get a collective goal for the end of the year.
And I suppose a lot of young players in that Cobh team as well, so you'd probably bring that bit of experience, that kind of calm, balanced, kind of assured head in the middle of the park.
Yeah, well, I've been playing. As I said, the last 3 years I haven't been playing in the League of Ireland, but I started when 17. I'm 28 now, and I'm one of the elder lemons, I suppose. There now, Turns is the only one older than me in there. So I just I kind of bring a bit of experience to that. But like you look at a lot of lads who would be deemed young, about 20, 21 years of age. But if you look at it, they've been with Cobh for the last 3 years, so they have a bit of experience now. So it's not only the kind of older fellas on the team, the younger fellas have this experience now under their belt as well. So hopefully, they can use that as well this year and push on.
And off the field, Dave, as well, Ramblers are very, very impressive with the way they're doing their business and getting all the sponsorship deals, the Belvedere Castle deal and so on. So things looking very bright in the future for Cobh.
Yeah, you can see the background work that's going on there is fantastic. It's not easy, especially with what's going on at the moment with COVID, getting the sponsorship. It's just not easy at all. So you can see they're doing their homework. They're reaching out, and the support that we're receiving is fantastic, so second to none. So as I say, all credit due to the club there and all the sponsors.
Exactly, yeah. What was your reaction when the fixtures were published and you saw Cork City Turners Cross first game?
Yeah, delighted. As I said, everyone kind of looks to, when you see the names of the clubs, as I said, there's not going to be a week go by where you're not be playing a big club. City are in that bracket, but as you said, look, a derby, it's just a shame that there's no fans of it, especially for the first game, because I always find the first game of the season is one of the best games of the season, because there's a buzz about the place. Everyone wants to kind of get back going, lay down their mark for the year, and no better way to do it against City in the Cross.
And you facing your former side as well, which will be interesting, I suppose.
Yeah, as I said, I know a few lads involved there still. Talk to them regularly. And they City have strengthened as well. So as I said, it'll be a good game. We'll put up them, and we'll see what happens.
As you mentioned, it is a shame that fans won't be there. I mean, imagine a packed Turner's Cross for that game. It would have been an incredible experience.
Yeah, well, as I say, look, they always get great support out in the Cross with everything that's going on. It's a shame, as I said, I've seen pictures there. I think it was on the Cobh website there not so long ago of the crowds back in the early 2000s when they were playing each other, and you see it's a sellout. And you're just kind of going, hopefully it'll kind of get back that stage, like, as I said, there won't be any supporters there now on the 26th of March, but when we play them again, hopefully things may change that supporters can get in for a game in Coleman's or Turner's Cross.
And on the plus side as well, it was announced yesterday that all the first division games are going to be streamed, which is a massive help, I suppose, and a massive boost for clubs up and down the country.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as I said, the Premier Division was always aired last year. I know clubs individually did their own thing last year in the First Division. So it's good to see that they're given the platform and they're not forgetting about the First Division. But that just kind of shows, it's a testament of the caliber of players and teams that are in the First Division this year, that you just can't go unnoticed, like it has done in previous years. So, as I said, look, it's good for everyone who during this pandemic can't go out and support their club.
And the First Division is going to be far more interesting than the Premier Division this year anyway, isn't it?
Exactly, especially with some Cork clubs in it.
Dave, have you set targets for yourself for the season?
I haven't really as such. As I said, I've kind of gone, I won't say I've gone past that stage of setting targets. As I said, I just want to kind of play as much as I can and kind of support the club as best as if we can go one better than what they did last year, then I know I've contributed to that. Before, you kind of say, I want to play this amount of games, I want to score this amount of goals. Individual targets are great, but as I say, collectively, it's the end goal, is more important.
I suppose just establishing yourself in the first team, I suppose, has to be the immediate priority.
Yeah, as I said, look, I know I've played at this level before in the Premier and in the First Division. When you go down to Munster Senior League, you can kind of say, oh, and there's kind of a thought goes around saying, oh, well, look, play in Munster Senior League, they can't play up in the First Division. There's a huge step up, and there is a big step up. People don't think there is, but there is a big step up, the commitment, the way things are done, and professionalism. So, as I said, look, I'm just looking forward to going in there again, test myself. It was nice to kind of see a few familiar faces on the Longford team that I played with up in Shells a few years back. So as I say, look, I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for me this year and for the club.
Excellent, Dave. Very best luck for the season ahead, and we'll chat to you soon.
Roy, thanks very much for having me.